notice things that are suspicious.
Welcome to the Media Circus. In a week where ABC budget cuts reduced news breakfast to a staff of just one person.
4 days of G20 broadcast action. See you soon. Here I
And they chose Roland. Competing this week for Team Australia, please welcome Ben Jenkins, Julian Morrow, and the ABC's actual credible fact-checker, John Barron. Yes, Chaz, our less credible fact-checker.
Craig, I've been doing a bit of fact-checking of my own, and I find your claim that John Barron is ABC's credible fact-checker highly implausible.
Oh.
Watching you, Barron.
We'll see him. We'll see you in the show, Chaz. All right, and they're up against political editor of the Adelaide Advertiser, Tori Shepherd, Susie Youssef, and Dave Hughes. Given Obama apparently shirt-fronted our PM, according to Courier Mail, you guys are Team Obama, OK?
Really?
Let's get into the news game. OK, to pick which news story to start with this week, let's play the still appallingly named...
News headlines.
Come on up, Susie. OK, Susie, pick a card, any card. Let's see what it is. OK, all right, you've got to act it out to your team before the paywall comes down in front of you, OK?
Easy.
Your mime starts now.
Eat, someone eat.
Clive Palmer.
Fat eat, horse eat, donkey.
Koalas. Koalas.
Obama hugging koala.
Drug koalas.
Putin koala and Abbott together, having a good time with the koala.
Chlamydia.
Putin hugging a koala with Abbott. A group hug with Putin koala, yes. And they all ate the koala.
Come on out, Susie. Team Obama, yes. What do you think the story was?
Well, it was Putin and Abbott with the koala hugging, and they were obviously
the koala
eating.
was trying to escape from Putin. And
that's very close. The headline was Aussie koalas trained for cuddles with Putin. Well done. Amazingly, the plan to get world leaders to hug animals riddled with chlamydia and high on drugs actually worked. Although not in all cases. Wait, were you surprised that that koala thing worked? Like, I was a bit shocked.
I don't think everyone loves it. Yeah.
But don't they have, like, a habit of, particularly with politicians, they always piss on them? And I feel like we should have had... Well, Putin should have had more time with koalas so that we could actually get a bit of payback for it.
Maybe that's the thing, is that Putin got the chlamydia one as a special one.
I just want to say, you did a koala story a couple of weeks ago. Well, your fact-checker did a koala story a couple of weeks ago.
This is footage upstairs.
I'm going to fact-check Mark Zuckerberg eating koala.
Yes! Correct! Well done!
Well, I did a fact-check on Chaz's fact-check. And it turns out that there are a few good reasons not to believe that Mark Zuckerberg ate a koala, including there are 19 koalas in the United States in the year that Mark Zuckerberg allegedly ate a koala. None of them went missing. Koalas cost $50,000 a year to feed in captivity in the United States.
And there's no way the founder of Facebook could afford that.
But here's the thing that seals the deal. Koalas apparently taste really bad. Ooh. They just eat gum leaves.
Well, how would you know, John?
Yes, Chaz?
That's very interesting, John.
Oh, here we go.
I just did a fact-check on your fact-check, and it turns out that according to this delightful cat meme, you were wrong.
You're in my house now, John.
Seriously, can we get Malcolm Turnbull back in the studio and sack one of these guys right now?
Well, look, but hugging koalas at the G20 turned out to be a lot easier than 3 grown men shaking hands. Even the traditional G20 leaders' water ski pyramid was less awkward than that. But the summit got off to a bumpy start for the Prime Minister. He copped flack for banging on about pissy domestic political issues at the opening leaders' meeting.
And we would like to see a $7 co-payment
But I'm not sure the other leaders were listening.
To see the doctor. Tried to deregulate higher education, universities.
Tori, you were there. Like that whole thing about him talking about domestic issues. Did that just matter to Australians, or was that seen as a bad thing to international people?
Look, generally, I think everyone thought it was a fairly bad thing. I mean, you're up against Obama, you know, who's this incredible sort of statesman. He's got all the charisma, all that sort of celebrity power. And then you had the GP co-payment. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. I was actually watching a live voice-to-text kind of service on it, and I was looking at the words coming up, and I couldn't hear them, and I was like, I'm on the wrong channel. There's no way he's talking about the Queensland Legislative Council at the opening of the G20, but...
Was it just calculated very badly, or did he go off script?
Well, there's no way he went off script. I mean, I'm sure he practiced in front of the mirror. I mean, you would, wouldn't you?
Sure.
G20, you have a little practice or whatever.
I think it must be one of those wobbly mirrors at the circus. It's like, yeah, that looked pretty good. That's good.
I mean, unless he just had a brain flip and he said all those things so many times.
But if he was doing that, he would have talked about the carbon tax and why...
He did talk about the carbon tax.
Carbon tax.
It was funny because
Stop the boats.
Yeah.
They were all there.
That was the thing, because he said at the beginning, he said, look, the one rule is I just want everyone to not speak from a script and to speak from the heart. And all his advisors are going, no!
There wasn't enough protesting, though, was there? I wanted more.
Well, you had to walk...
Really? I talked to some police the week before I was in Brisbane, and they were looking forward to beating up some protesters. It didn't really happen.
But it's because of the bureaucracy. Like, you had to register to have a protest. And the forms you had to fill out to do a terrorist event were just, like, insane. Way too much. Admin.
For all the pre-summit hype, Vladimir Putin and Tony Abbott kept things fairly civil at the G20. Vladimir Putin said Tony Abbott was a business-like person who is, quote, specific and made sure everyone stayed on schedule. Mind you, the Russian president also said Mr Abbott created a wonderful atmosphere in Brisbane. Presumably the wonderful atmosphere he was referring to was scenes like this, which really reminded Putin of home.
They would be friends. Look at them. They're the same person. I mean, as if they wouldn't get on. They both take their shirts off, look at each other's, you know, lack of body fat and just jump on a horse and have a good time.
If you look at that kind of totally blank, slightly sad-looking face, that is Vladimir Putin expressing joy. That's as happy as he gets. He had a great time in Britain.
Sorry, Jules, you could not be more wrong about Vladimir Putin's
I think I could.
No, you could not be more wrong. These kids know the real Vladimir Putin.
Who are you hoping to see most?
I want to see Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
Me too, yes.
Why do you want to see Mr. Putin?
Because generally he smiles at everything. Yeah.
Are there Russian agents in Brisbane?
Tori, what did you think of the security setup? What was it like? Was it kind of crazy being there?
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. So all the journos are herded into a room, so there's like 3,000 slightly farty journos all crammed in together getting fed, you know, curry for lunch and whatever.
So maybe they weren't actually trying to keep Queenslanders out, they were just trying to keep journalists in one room.
I think it was all about us.
There was no bins, apparently. I was in Brisbane last week. There's no bins at all anywhere in the city. So no bins, but about 4 million police with guns. So as soon as you litter, they'll shoot you, basically.
But one of the cutest things I saw was the snipers were up there. They had a little sun umbrella.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you're about to shoot someone, you only get sunburned, do you?
So I'm sitting there, you know, taking all these photos and then thinking maybe I shouldn't be pointing any kind of equipment in their direction.
It gives away where the sniper is, doesn't it? It's like, oh, there he is.
To be fair, though, with all this security, they did disrupt some intense terror plots, I think.
Authorities were briefly distracted by a mysterious bubbling in the Brisbane River. Divers were dispatched. They discovered an outlet pipe.
So,
That pipe just hates our freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Mysterious bubbling. Does that mean Todd Carney was in Brisbane?
Everyone was on the lookout for potential snubs between Putin and Abbott, so of course they found them at every turn.
Vladimir Putin has taken his spat with Tony Abbott to a whole new low, misspelling the Prime Minister's name on his website.
Bring on World War III, people! Look, Channel 10 knew they were onto a big story on this one, so they hit the streets.
So that's pretty poor, I think. As long as we change Putin to something else.
What would you change it to?
Shooting, maybe?
Yeah! Say that, shooting! Or Vladimir Putin, join in if you want to defeat Russia.
Craig, I think you really should stop mocking vox pops like that. Those news vox pops can be very enlightening, I think.
That's a f***ing crock of shit. Sorry for my language.
That's all right. Do you want to reword that?
All right. I think it's a waste of money.
Let's get on with the main game as we
play the Putin game.
I don't think we should play the Putin game.
No one asked you, Bill. Shut up. OK, now, Russia may have a bigger military than us hanging off our shores, but we've been Googling maliciously to find things that Australia beats Russia in. OK, let's see if you can pick them. Team Australia first. Which country is happier, Australia or Russia?
Is that question being asked? Like, it really depends on who is asking that question to who. Like,
I'm asking, Ben. Welcome to the game.
No, I mean, like, if that's Vladimir Putin going door to door, being like, "How happy are you?" I would say that they would say they're very happy.
Very happy, yeah.
Very happy
Yes,
indeed.
Mr.
Thank you
President,
very much.
Very happy, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen any Russian person smile ever, so I'm going to go with Australia. Surely.
Yeah, Australia.
Australia, that is correct. Well done, yes. In the Gallup poll ranking G20 nations in order of happiness, Russia came last and Australia came second. Some good news for Russia, though. It also came third last in life expectancy, so at least Russians won't be unhappy for long. OK, Team Obama, you're one. Does Australia beat Russia on obesity or literacy?
Ooh, I think we've got to beat them on obesity, don't we?
Yeah.
They don't have enough money, do they? But do they?
Vodka's quite a low-cal drink.
Yeah, absolutely. And the kebab shops close early too, so I reckon
I think obesity.
we beat them on obesity.
I think we do.
But does that mean they beat us on literacy?
Well, let's see. Russia came 10th in the G20 for obesity rankings, but Australia came 3rd. Sucked in, Russia. We're fatter than you. Yeah. Even our jihadis are apparently too fat. Did you see this story? Yeah.
What they can do now is they can actually just establish a caliphate. Come at me, ISIS. Don't. Please don't do that.
You can't let me do it. Wait there. Oh. Look, on the other hand, Russia beat every other G20 nation in terms of literacy, which means, presumably, that the Tony Abbott spelling mistake was on purpose. Yeah. OK, this is for both teams now. What other G20 scale does Australia beat Russia on? Your choices are internet speed or murder rate.
Look, I mean, I'm very proud of Australia's murder rate, but something tells me that Vladimir Putin would beat us on that, surely.
Look, as a South Australian...
You guys you've been punching above your weight.
Doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the rest of us. Thanks for that.
They beat us on murder rate. They murder a lot.
What about internet speeds? I mean, my internet's pretty shit at home. I don't know about yours.
You don't murder people because of it, do you?
Can't really say. Some of my phone calls with Telstra, they go close to murder.
Unfortunately, it's neither. Russia has a higher murder rate, but they also kill us on internet speeds too. Of course, those stats would have been different if Kevin Rudd had been re-elected, of course, because our murder rate would have been higher. So at the end of that round, the winners are Team Obama. Well done.
Never be a stock photo model. The original stock photo.
She is waiting behind the glass.
How the news used it.
Woman pens open letter to the unborn child she plans to abort.
Is this you? Oh, look, I'm a stock photo model.
God damn your soul to hell!
The original stock photo.
Woman drinking beer.
How the news used it.
Drinking a pint of urine every day keeps me young. And it's delicious.
A pint of urine for you, madam? The original stock photo.
Depressed woman in pyjamas, sitting in bed.
How the news used it.
I fantasize about group sex with old, obese men. This is you! Hey, everyone! It's the old fatty fucker!
Round 2.
The best part about all the petty diplomatic posturing by Russia this week has been their creative excuses. Putin left the summit early, saying he needed to catch up on sleep. And Russia claimed their warships off the coast of Queensland were just doing climate change research. No wonder Abbott sent out our fleet. Whoa, stop them! And when FIFA was looking into dodgy World Cup bids, seriously, Russia just claimed all their computers were accidentally destroyed. Well, Putin and the Kremlin's spin doctors haven't been too convincing, but maybe Ben and Dave can do a better job as they play...
Spin to win.
OK, Ben and Husey, put on your Russian hats. You are Vladimir Putin's official Kremlin spokespeople.
Yeah.
You have to face the questions about Russia's dodgy behaviour and you have to give a very... You have to give a very... You have to give a Russian-style response to this, OK? All right, Ben, first up.
OK.
Why does Russia use warships to do climate change research?
Thanks for the question. I'm happy to answer. Look, when Russia was dedicated to fighting climate change, and when Russia fights something, we don't fuck around. We don't know what climate change is going to have. Maybe climate change has a gun. Maybe climate change has its own warships. We just want to be prepared.
What other military equipment do you use to fight climate change?
Swords.
Mr. Hughes.
Also, the ships were coming close to Australia, so they didn't want to be towed back to Indonesia, so they had to show some sort of...
Now, your government claimed that the warships were just seeing if they had the range to get to Antarctica. Why did they just stop off Queensland then?
Because they checked the petrol gauge and they were fine. Also, very cold in Antarctica. They've done their climate research and it's still cold down there and they left their thermals back in Vladivostok.
And you took, and you took their hat.
Yeah, and I've got their hat, which I believe is on correctly, even though the label says it's at the front. Anyway, whatever.
Ben, can I just ask you, why was Mr. Putin so tired that he had to leave the G20 early?
That's a slanderous libel from the corrupt Western media. Mr. Putin does not sleep, except for once a year in a cave, and he'll do it for about 2 weeks.
Can I just ask, Mr. Hughes, how is it possible that all of Russia's records relating to the FIFA World Cup bid have been destroyed?
They were destroyed mainly on the computer. I don't know if you've ever spent some lonely hours on the computer, but if you do, you've got to destroy all the records. That's just fair. That's just men being men.
All right, can I ask you, Ben, homosexuals in Russia claim they're persecuted. Is that true?
Well, I don't know how they made that claim from prison, but... Look, it's very similar to America had don't ask, don't tell. We have don't be gay. It's our sort of motto.
Yeah. It's part of the reason I destroyed that stuff on the computer.
Thank you very much to our two Russian computers. Thank you, guys. Well done. Yes, the clear winner of that is Russia, I think. Look, not only is Russia the winner there, but you all do win, actually, because you get to see some of the work of one of the finest spin merchants of all time. A man whose house was hit by bullets in a drive-by shooting and who very, very much wants the media to go away.
This was his version of what happened.
I don't know. I told you before, no one shot the house, there's some firework went off.
It's not fireworks, so...
Well, I think it's a firework, man, and that's it. And there's nothing wrong, no one got hurt, no one got shot, there's no shot have been fired. We don't know anything, we got nothing to do with nothing, we didn't hear anything, we didn't do anything, and we didn't see anything.
What are the bullet holes in the wall?
I don't see any bullet holes around the wall.
What's your name?
My name? I don't have a name, actually.
Here's a handy tip for reporters. Try dubbing things.
Dubbed the ginger jihadist. The crocodile dubbed Big Boy.
They were soon dubbed the Chuckle Brothers.
Regular things aren't interesting unless you pretend they've been dubbed with some ridiculous name that no one's actually using.
Dubbed the Death Plunge Playboy.
Who's been dubbed as Interrupting Colton.
Affectionately dubbed Trash Bear.
The Thumbs Up Bub has been dubbed the Fonzie Fetus.
Meanwhile, in Buckingham Palace...
I dub thee Sir Trash Bear. How many more are there?
Hey!
For fuck's sake.
Round 3.
Yesterday's news.
Yesterday's news is a game based on news bulletins from this day in history, like on this day in 1986, during the Cold War, when the ABC's Mark Colvin covered this inspiring story of a protester at the Berlin Wall.
John Runnings thinks the wall is such an obscene symbol of division that he's prepared to climb up on it and risk arrest. But on this evidence, he might brush up his footwork.
Are you coming, John? Whoa!
Lemons has been arrested several times before by guards from the East German side. Each time he's been handed over to the US Embassy there.
Hope he didn't land too heavily.
I love the fact the East Germans are like, he's such an idiot, just give him back. But look, OK, but everyone is up to this. This is your question. In honour of the G20, your question comes from 2009 when another foreign dignitary was in town. Who is Bill Shorten addressing at Parliament House in this clip?
We dream of flying off the top turnbuckle to demolish our opponents with a well-timed body slam. We enjoy ending a difficult interview with a pesky journalist by putting them in a figure-4 leg lock.
What even is what?
Is it the Pope?
Can I say that in 5 years, Bill Shorten has aged about 400 years?
Every time he knocks off another leader, he ages 5 years.
It's like, OK, so he's using, like, wrestling...
Yeah.
Got to be a wrestler.
Yeah, and there was a wrestler who became like a governor of an American state, wasn't
Oh,
there?
yes, the Jesse guy, Jesse
the Body Ventura.
Yes.
I don't want to give away too much of my youth, but yeah.
And the person who starts the answer gets the points, I believe. So.
But I don't remember Jesse Ventura, but I reckon he was out of office before 2009.
The Rock. Let's go with The
The
Rock.
Rock?
Yeah. The Rock, he was a wrestler.
The Rock, let's see.
Welcome, Mr. Hogan.
The world's most famous wrestler was in Canberra for charity.
What's up, Hawkham and Gags?
I really was going to say him. I really was. And, I mean, I swear I'm...
Oh, if that's the case, then I'll give you the point.
Thanks.
There you go. Well done.
That's Un-Australian.
OK, That's Un-Australian is the game where the world's news is our stage. Dave, it's you. You're up. OK, now you've got to point to this place that's in the news. It's Churyumov Gerasimenko.
All right, so yes, I need help from my team because that
sounds a little kind of Eastern Bloc to me, maybe.
Yeah, but it sounds Asian
maybe.
as well, doesn't it? We're over here.
Look, to be honest, this map's not ideal. Don't break the screens.
This is not a touch screen. It's almost 2015.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old would be disgusted.
Yeah. To be fair to you, this map's not on the right scale. Can we just actually go to the better scale for Husey? Right, so that...
I really have not any idea about this story because at our house we listen to Peppa Pig the whole time.
Just smash the TV and be done with it.
Right.
Well, I feel like you're leaning towards Mars. You should just get there.
I'm going to say it's Mars.
OK, let's see how close you were. There you go. Churyumov Gerasimenko is better known as Comet 67P. Why is it in the news at the moment?
They landed a spacecraft on it. It was the most exciting thing ever.
They landed a spacecraft on it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well done, Husey. Take a seat.
Well done.
That's right. Yeah. After 10 years in transit, the Rosetta mission successfully landed a probe on a comet, only to run out of batteries 57 hours later, which would explain its first photo. Does anyone know why did it run out of juice? Why did it run out of battery?
Did they leave the headlights on?
It wasted a lot of time bouncing because the gravity is so low on that comet that something that weighs 200 kilos is about as light as a piece of paper. So it bounced up and it took several hours to bounce back down, and then when it did land, it was in a shadow so the solar panels wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's right. It's in the shade.
How long does it take to get a service out there?
They got one rocket there, so they couldn't just take another one up with a charger?
What I like about this, it really feeds into the whole, renewable energy target sort of conversation we're having at the moment. I can imagine Abbott getting up and being like, wouldn't happen if the probe was coal-powered, too. That
It's true. I mean, look, the comet landing did coincide with the release of nude photos of Kim Kardashian and prompted the Wall Street Journal to do an investigative report about Twitter to see what the internet likes more. One story got 500,000 tweets, the other got 300,000. Teams, which story got more?
I know which one I clicked on.
That photo got through my Peppa Pig haze at home, I must say.
But, so is it not what we expect? Is it the other way around? And actually, surely people weren't interested in the comet more than Kim Kardashian.
No, they weren't.
No.
So you think Kim Kardashian? That is wrong. The comet landing won. Proving that the internet prefers small comets to large moons.
I do think, though, that 3/4 of those hits on the internet were from this lady.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's just wonderful. It's just unbelievable. We've waited so long, and how it's happening. My mum is so embarrassing.
So at the end of that round, the winners are Team Obama. Congratulations. You win this chunk of 67p Comet. Or it might just be a chunk of Kim Kardashian's ass. We're not sure. There you go.
Advice from the news.
More than 75,000 students began their higher school certificate exams today. The compulsory English...
Should I try to get good marks, or should I just draw cock and balls? I wonder what the news would tell me to do.
Getting good marks, it seems, is still the key.
Sound advice. Thanks, news.
Round 4.
Every day, reporters commit crimes against the humanities with all manner of piss-weak punnery. For example, in stories about pandas.
What should have been a routine medical visit in China turned into pandemonium.
That's a better name for this game, isn't it? So let's see if we can do any worse in our final round tonight.
Pandemonium!
OK, I'll describe the stories in the news that puns were used in. You've got to try and guess the puns that we used, and God save all of us, OK? Hands on buzzers. It's time for your moment in the pun. Hey. Only gets worse. Yeah. Right, the first story was from the Adelaide News Report, and it was about Krispy Kreme donuts opening.
Adelaide gets glazed and confused.
Oh, that's good.
These people do not want to miss out.
Yes.
Heaps of kids get diabetes. Sweet thing, hole in the market filled.
Welcome to Dave Says Words.
I was going to say Adelaide's sticky hole, but I don't know if
That's been open on Hindley Street for a long time. Look, we're not getting near it all. Let's see what they did.
Who are now competing for a smaller piece of the pie.
It's a sweet dough people go a little nuts for. Victory was sweet, but the arrival of the famous franchise has been hard to swallow for some.
Yours were better.
Missed opportunity.
Next story, AC/DC's drummer charged with trying to have someone killed. Charges that have since been dropped. What was the pun?
dirty deeds done not so cheap.
No, that's great.
Is it? Help me! It's like because
hang on. Ben's broken.
Yeah. Because they're both the charges. They're current, and you can get charged for a crime. So walk with me. Here we go. AC/DC charged.
Yes.
It's a long way to the dock if you want to rock and roll.
That's very good. You're going to all be so disappointed when we get here.
Were there fears that he'd get off bond scot-free?
AC/DC on the highway to hell.
You're very close. Let's see the answer.
Highway to jail.
Final story, a cat has been stealing someone's toys. Go.
Facing 9 life sentences.
Oh, that's good. No, that's good, though.
Cat burglar, cat.
That is one of them. I mean, not quite done. Cat burglar is one of the puns. Well done.
Revealed Australia's most fun pussy.
That is someone who works for a tabloid, right?
They're keeping tabbies on the suspect?
No. It's good, though. Let's see what they went with.
A real-life cat burglar exhibiting some appalling behaviour.
Until then, it's up to his owners to try and put a collar on their cat's crafty ways.
And the moggy, who's mugging its neighbours.
Which means at the end of that round, the winners were Team Australia. Well done. And that is the end of the show and tonight's winner. And the suspense is just killing me. Yes, it's Team Australia again. Thank you for watching. See us next week on Media